I might die tonight, but if I do, I'm a...
Nope. Love thyself.
Knowing there's a problem at hand to begin with.
Boom. How's that for an intro? Here we are.
Number 7, up in it.
Might Die podcast. What up?
Hope I'm sounding nice and clear to all you guys out there.
Well, we should be. But here we are once again. Shamus Bourget here.
Matt Smith.
And we got ourselves a little, big first guest here. Rhys Hillier. How you going over there, Cobber?
Yo, not too bad, thanhanks, gents.
Yeah,
Hell
getting
yeah.
into
Good
it.
to have you on, mate. It's good to have you on.
Oh, it's
Pleasure
to be here sitting with you.
Pleasure to be for you to be the first guest. Quite cool. I'm into it. But so here we are. Episode 7. Into it. A lot of things going on.
Moving along. It's quite early. Once again, it's an early podcast, morning podcast. Well, not as early as we'd like it to be, but it is what it is.
Couple of us slept in, you could say. True, Schmidt?
Yes, correct. But anyway, we're here. We're doing it. So pretty much.
Bit going on.
Yeah, a bit going on.
If you're watching, you can tell that there's now 3 mics set up in here, 2 fresh new ones over there, and we've got this unit here, which is quite fancy. It's a fucking shiznit, to be honest.
Cool. It's cool, as we can do so much good shit with it, and it's at pretty much it's at quite it's quite an easy deal to work.
It is. So we've got all sorts of. We can add some sounds if you want a little bit of applause once we do some really cool stuff. All sorts of pad sounds on the. Then we've loaded it up and put a couple of our own funky ones on there with sending it for the boys, a couple of cheeky ones. So we'll bring them out when the time's right. But here we are. Dope little setup here. We do have to thank the sponsor that hooked us up with one of these mics. Massive thanks to Bacchus Tint.
These are legends.
So if you are local to the area, Melton, Bacchus Marsh, all that sort of western burbs, and you need your house tinted or your office tinted, make sure you hit them up because they're the dudes for the job. Don't hit them up if you want a car.
They do not do the automobile.
They will not do your car, so go find someone else to do that. But if you want your alfresco done, give them a buzz. Once again, Bacchus Marsh Tent, hit them up, find them. They're all over the socials.
Alfresco is not a window, man.
Well, that's true, but isn't it? you have a window in an alfresco, isn't it? Wouldn't you?
No, not really. But anyway, we're not here to fucking
whatever, Mr. Carpenter. I don't give a fuck. That's why I didn't build houses. But here we are. Let's get into it. I think that's that's what we need to do to fucking clear the first bit up. But we're here, and we've got Big Hill Dog, Rhys Hillier, man himself.
So I guess we'll swing over into the times that where we met, where we come about, what we did back then, and how we've transferred over into the nows.
Definitely, probably should touch on how we sort of came to because obviously we're homies. We've been fucking homies for a while, all of us in all different sort of times and ways, and
100%. We there was the freestyle motocross thing there that we were all like kind of in and around and diving into at that time, and then.
Hold on. I think probably just to clear everything up for everyone that doesn't know, Rhys Hillier over here is if you're in any FMX sort of scene and you don't know who he is, or you're not in the FMX scene, because he is a fucking Aussie FMX god, if you will. OG fucking
done it all, been there from day dot.
He's a crusty demon. He's done it all. He's had a good rip and held his shit up. So if you don't know that, go back and do some research on Rhys Hillier. But obviously that being a few years ago, now he's a bit of a countryman, bit of a snowy river. I don't know what the word would be. Legend, maybe at the moment, growing to be.
No, we'll just roll with Mountain Man.
Just Mountain Man?
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good with the Mountain Man. So he's a bit of a Mountain Man, loves his hunting, loves all that sort of stuff. So we'll dip into all sorts of these different categories, but I guess, we just sort of thought we'll start at the start where we sort of met him in the FMX scene and how that grew to be just, a bunch of old farts now that used to ride motorbikes that hang out with each other still.
Nothing to do with bikes, but anyway. So, where and how we met, pretty much. We touched on this, we were talking briefly last night, and it was obviously, like I was saying before, had a lot to do with the riding and the crews we were all hanging with, and the events, the shows, the comps, all that cool stuff was going on at the time. And I guess, you were driving up, you were Victorian based, you have been, I was up in Queensland when we first met.
Yep.
I wasn't living down here in Melbourne. So, yeah, I guess we were bouncing to, well, Hillier was bouncing to and from, a lot of coming up to Queensland and doing the thing up there. And then, yeah, it kind of transferred on and kept going over. When the riding slowed down or the riding stopped, we kind of kept still hanging out, I guess. And that's what we're still doing now.
Yeah, to a degree, my man. But we initially met at one of these fucking Bundaberg crusty gigs, and I just remember
Definitely.
I remember being there, and I was part of the fucking crew, so I'm doing my thing, and then look over and here's you
Yeah.
fixing your bike, doing something with one of your mates that you come up with, and it was also on a YZ, I reckon. There was someone
Yeah,
else
that was
filling in.
Jace.
That's
Yeah.
what that was.
Yeah.
And then yeah, back then I was just intimidated as fuck by all your tattoos and all that, and just your attitude. So I was just like,
That's wild,
That's
man.
so
Because
funny,
you
man.
it was like you would have been intimidating as fuck because you were Rhys Hillier.
To
not
me,
really though.
Yeah, to
To
him.
me at that
Yeah, you
time.
wouldn't have thought like that, but to him, you were fucking Rhys Hillier.
because it was you and Jack over there. I remember that, and you two were the younger dudes
Yeah.
on the tour at that time, and I was just a blow-in. I didn't know none of these fucking dudes,
Yeah.
and I felt really out of place. So that's pretty funny to hear
Yeah,
that
that
from your
is
side. A bit
cool.
intimidating.
That is funny. Like that's cool to sort of like, and it's funny that it's like weird how like you were almost both intimidated by each other.
Yeah, but
Because-
And then they're like riding, and then that's right. I remember we're just in the first practice or whatever, and I was out there, and just out the corner of my eye, I see this cunt on the same bike like you,
Yeah.
doing this backy, and I'm just
That's
like,
right.
bullshit. And then this cunt's doing like fucking sick shit. I'm like, fuck, this cunt rips. And then it was you and Mason had very similar bikes.
funny
Just
shit.
got that mad
'Cause I
respect from
remember-
Mace. Fuck, Smitty's pretty good.
I think
Yeah,
after that practice session, we kind of went back. We were out the back or whatever, and you come up and said, "You flipping, man?" Like you asked me that. I was
I
like,
genuinely
nah,
thought it was you.
no, not me, man, not me. But yeah.
Respect lost.
Oh, you don't flip?
Yeah, fuck off, mate. We're
Fucking
going.
poop.
Yeah,
Fucking
go,
pussy.
go hang out in the fucking non-cool corner, non-flipper corner.
Yeah,
But that's fucking pretty funny. That's funny that I didn't know that. That's fucking funny little fucking story. And then obviously, so you didn't fucking fully jam at that crusty show, and then
Nah,
caught
nah,
up
nah.
later on just within the
'Cause,
scene.
Like I said, Hilly and Jacko were jamming out and doing their thing. Obviously, did a few stops beforehand. I just got a call up to do Bundaberg show. So that they'd been vibing a little bit beforehand, and like I said, I felt a little bit like a blow-in at such because it was pretty intimidating first time around. Most of these dudes and doing my thing, trying to, just do what I do, and I guess I wasn't really there to make friends as such. If that come about, fucking cool as, but I was pretty focused on the job at hand, and it was very
Be
daunting
there and
for
do
me.
a good job because it was
Yeah,
full
I
on
wanted
for you,
to make the most out of it and try get things from that for the future. So I was pretty focused on what I was there to do.
Yeah, nice. That's the go.
So I guess what about yourself?
Well, I think. Well, I still think the first time I actually met you was at HQ at his joint.
Yep.
I think you were just down for something, and
Pretty good base in
yeah, a
Queensland
lot of sort of
dudes come and went.
you meet a lot of motherfuckers at that joint because it was
Oh,
sort
that
of the
joint was
hub.
fucking historic as far as
Oh man,
underground freestyle.
that was like the FMX hub of fucking sickness, 100%.
Every cunt was just frothing to
Yeah.
aspire. So
Yeah,
Yes,
there's a
that's
lot
right.
going on there.
yeah.
Yeah, there's always a vibe.
But I definitely think that was like we were sort of touched on last night when we were talking about a bit of shit. Like I'm pretty sure when we were doing our 80 thing and we were bloody fully extended .tk, we're just in our local towns, kids, probably no cars. Me and you were fucking hard on the MSN bloody chats.
Well, me and you've touched on this too.
Like,
because
I don't, because you probably wouldn't have saved stuff then, but it wouldn't surprise me if, I don't know if you saved things or you just viewed a photo back then, I can't remember, but I'd probably almost have. Like, I remember photos of you fucking sending me photos of you on your 80 doing fucking
Yeah.
heel clickers and cans.
Yeah.
And we'd trade photos and shit and be like, what did you learn fucking the weekend?
yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Like,
and,
full
I
on.
remember the fully XT sort of deals you used to doing back then,
Yeah,
and I think Matho and you
yeah,
particularly.
yeah. Yeah, like, that's fucking...
And then there was some other dudes like names that ring a bell from around here from back in that day. Also talking, but they were like a racing crew.
Yeah,
But
Yep.
just when they're from Melbourne, so you sort of assume it. But then
yep.
I'm not too specific on when we did actually exactly meet myself.
Yeah,
That's just clouded
yeah,
memories.
yeah.
But
Rockstar living.
Yeah, I definitely remember like where first time met being that was up there, so I'm assuming it was.
Yeah,
with you.
I reckon. I'm pretty sure, and because I reckon it was like we were there. Fuck knows what it would have been. It would have been one of the earlier RFDs, because once we were doing RFDs, we were cool. Like we vibed straight. Once we were at HQ, it was like we're all fucking, we get each other sort of, and it was on from there. But
So it was one of the early ones because like
had to have been
Dean Matho was doing. He would have been invited on it, and that's why you guys would have come up
fully.
from here.
Yeah, and even like Bro,
much
would it have
short.
been like Rockhampton, the first one that him and Broads did that we come up for? Rocky.
Maybe. I honestly thought you guys knew each other a little before then, but I was out of that side of things. I didn't know how much you hung out and spoke prior to that.
Oh well, like because you would have met years, way
it was
before.
it was two years before
Yeah.
you guys,
Yeah.
because I did that first year by myself of RFD,
Yep.
and that's when me and Healy vibed that first time on that one, and that was 2010.
That's just because we could rip sick on dirt bikes.
Hell yeah, man.
It's like, yo,
Mm.
we got
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, he's definitely like yous both had that. Yous were both like yous were riders.
Profit.
Mm.
It wasn't like we're doing like they.
I'm
Yous,
here to look cool.
yeah, yous were always doing it because it was like a fucking thrill,
Yep.
and it pushed you, and like each other's shit pushed each other's thrills, and I think that's why it
I
always
think
worked.
in
It was
those
real.
aspects, you do find, whether you know them or not, you do find the people you vibe with on the bike.
Same level, guns. Yeah.
Same
Mm.
level,
Yep.
all that, because it's straight away you get this push, and it's like, oh, if I can do it this way, I'll try it like this. Don't do it like that, whatever it is, but you can straight away bounce off each other, and it's just fucking good fun.
Yes.
It is, now you sort of say, I haven't really thought about that, but it is funny how like you almost do end up in crews with the same like, you know what I mean? Like you dudes weren't about fully chasing the top, but it was also there to like tick it off. But then there's other people that were just trying to get to the top, and in different ways for
I
different
think
reasons.
We were probably lucky enough and fell into the thing that we were just doing our thing, and we were
Living
lucky
the
And it
enough,
worked,
and we were
yeah.
lucky enough to fall into that top five or.
Well, you've worked for
placing.
it too.
We worked for it. Don't get
So-
me wrong, but we had like the main thing. We had fun,
Yeah.
and that showed
Yeah.
because of the results and everything
Yeah.
what we got from it. Because
Yeah.
I know myself, I wasn't there shitting myself and pushing that hard that I wasn't having fun, because I was fucking having fun every time I was riding my bike with every cunt.
Yeah, yeah.
It was hard not to back then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yep,
Fucking
for
good shit.
So yeah, I guess that's a little bit of a background on me and Borgs meeting the Rhys Hillier back in the day. It's actually really cool to talk back on, because we probably haven't done much of it, and just to refresh the brains and all that stuff, and the convos now is pretty cool, because it's what we did, I guess, and to relive a bit is always fucking rad.
It's also scarily starting to fucking drift away from us too.
Nah,
It's
that's
getting a
the
while
reality.
away.
yeah,
Like, you know, it wasn't
I guess
fucking yesterday.
That's up to you though.
Yeah, obviously keeping those memories tight, but at the
Yeah.
end of the day, it wasn't yesterday anymore.
No,
and the
definitely not.
memories are one thing, but it's getting a bit far long in the tooth now as far as jumping on the bike.
Yeah,
Like
There's-
the fucking memory feels like just the other day that you were doing all this stuff and
Yep.
hanging right off it, and then you actually do get on a bike now and put the helmet on.
So
and
could you imagine yourself
hang on.
doing the old 75er and doing, just on the weekend to have a bit of a thrill?
I'd love to do the 75ers,
Yeah,
but then
just-
you start wanting to do fucking double neck. So
yeah, and then I'll do an indie.
Yeah.
And I'll bloody do it. Yeah, okay, got yeah.
neck
Yeah,
and
fair.
but so are you at the point now where you could just easily jump on your bike and hit 75, no thinking, or you'd have a little bit of a
no, it would
moment?
take 4 weeks just to set up to jump the fucking jump.
Yeah,
But,
right,
I'd
yeah.
yeah, that's why. Like I think we were talking the other day about just having like those mellow ramps
Yes.
or
Just a
mellow
bit of
dirt hits
fun.
so you can just catch the air.
Yeah.
more than anything.
Yep.
And I think in that aspect, we really do know what the risk versus reward is. So
Oh, that's
probably the
right.
110 thing is
And
really good
110's
for
well,
us
that's
now.
where
That's
we're
why
sort of
we're
at now.
pushing
Yeah.
Mm.
that side, because it is super, super fun, but it's not as fucking dangerous, because let's be serious. Like, it's not if, it's when you're riding a 250.
Yeah, and the beauty of the 110 is they're so accessible and everyone can sort of do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And you can do it anywhere and you can have a fuckload of fun.
Yeah,
just
fuck yeah.
on 110s and a bit of couple acres, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't need much.
No.
You could just have a paddock and maybe a couple of lumps or bumps, and
And like fucking Jezza that threw the bike in the front of the
Mirage.
the other
Yeah.
way, yeah, you can do that. You don't
Yeah.
have to have a bike trailer to take 3 bikes and do it. That's the beauty of them.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, the old
definitely.
mini bikes are definitely making a little bit of a comeback at the moment too, which is sort of pretty cool to, especially too, because like there was that I don't know. I sort of feel like there was a little bit of a stage there where we were doing it and it wasn't cool yet. You know, it was
there was all
what are you
the-
doing riding mini bikes? Like, fucking.
Well, I guess because
Get a
we were
big
just
bike.
doing it, we needed to get a fix.
We just
for
wanted
the
to
We
ride.
were just wanting to ride, and I guess I
100%.
just got out of rehab and all that, like
Yeah.
on the 110 deal now.
Yeah.
And it was like, man, let's just ride. That's what I wanted to do, and to get me
Yep.
deal going. And now it's kind of become a thing. Like you can't even buy a 110, a brand new 110 in Australia pretty much now. All dealers are sold out.
You're just tripping because like we didn't have a 50 scene back really. There's like the 50s. I mean 50-50. It was like
Yeah.
50 nuts and fucking
Yep.
twitch and scummy shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which
You can't
still was a
remember,
bit of a
then it's
move.
2020 and like you don't see all the thumps that era and fuck them.
Yeah.
Now they see sick 110s and it's like
Fully.
these things are sick.
Yeah, true.
Proper.
So yeah, I guess that's where we're at and what we've done and where we've been lightly. There'll probably be things that pop up over the time we talk, but on to still vibing, still really good mates, man.
Yeah,
And I'm fucking pumped on that.
Been through a bit now.
Now we have, man.
Seen some things.
Few encounters, few things overseas in Australia.
Yeah.
Here,
Yeah,
there,
so
everywhere.
you did a couple of overseas trips riding, obviously.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're
Where?
over in China.
Yep.
We did a few.
Fucking not going back there for a while, eh?
No.
Fucking Rona.
Bloody oath, mate. Lucky.
Fucking Rona.
Lucky we did the riding when we did it.
Yeah. But
Um,
so how that was that was obviously pretty good.
That was cool, as man.
Yep.
Again, we'd already been like, vibing by then, good mates. So whenever it was happening, it was on. It was just a big holiday, a big fun trip on the plane together. We're mucking around like fucking 16-year-old fucking school kids, just having fun, doing the things we do. Get there, run amok, fucking go shopping, do this, do that, and we always kind of did it together. So yeah, it was fucking real good fun, man. Until
But that's right. We used to always just, it was easy because we could bunk together and no
yeah.
matter
Like,
where you were.
yep,
you always
that's
sort
it.
of had a homie that you
Yeah,
could
you could be up
just.
there smoking Darius till 3 in the morning and just
Yeah.
fucking.
talking shit. Yeah, he
Fuck
got me, I got him, and it was
Yeah.
like, you just do your weird shit and I'll do my weird shit, and that's that.
Because
So-
that can mean that you can also, it can get pretty, the scene will, most scenes always bring different motherfuckers. So
Oh,
like you
that's
could,
right, mate.
you could
Yeah.
definitely be overseas with like a couple of dudes that you were just like, man, these dudes, I just don't vibe with them.
Vibe
Oh,
with him. And there
100%
was
because
those dudes, man.
Way it was in terms of we're there to do a job and we're, like you said, a variety of dudes coming into one
Yep,
weekend or week,
yep,
and you're spending a week with people in a third world country anyway.
yeah, yeah.
So
Things can get heated. Things can get a little bit.
and just
Got to have that.
yeah, and people are tripping a little bit, and then they haven't got much international experience either.
Yep.
And then fuck me, did half the people bring along a girlfriend or some shit in half the time, and it's just like that just makes the whole thing weird. Not just those particular trips, but other trips. Then that makes a third world country with a confused Sheila, and then a bunch of 4 random blokes
That just
all
want to
Hawaiian-
party.
And Hawaiian Mighty, yeah, that's
Yeah,
right. In
yeah.
the moment,
They're rock star in it. They're in the fucking living the dream.
Yeah, and typically like back then we were sort of the, you're the blow in as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not vibing with everyone. So yeah, it was kind of interesting that just the way having a good follow around to
Yeah.
get through it, like just to experience it all was made those memories a lot sweeter too. Because I mean, the riding was pretty fucking shit, just straight up on metal ramps, metal down ramps.
It's like pretty B grade sort of riding setups.
Just boring. Gets
Yep.
repetitive.
Of course. Oh, well, and especially too when you look at people that you dudes are proper riders and the courses and stuff you have had the opportunity to ride.
Yeah.
What's a fucking steel downy and a fucking ramp? Like that's some
That's right, man. And-
boring
and,
ass basic shit when you can hit a fucking dirt 110 flat fucking chat
Yeah.
and hang off the back.
and I'm sure, I'm nearly positive you ask most people that do ride what they'd rather, and it would be the dirt jumps because it is fun, there's variety, whatever. But yeah, that's just part of the show life, I
as a
guess.
rider, if they're chasing it to be a rider, they'd love that. But most of them would be fucking shit scared because they only want to do a jump and a little seat grab and get their pay.
Yeah, and
But
they've
that's
not-
right.
they've not
Bottom
done
line
it.
is we get bank off hitting ramps. So.
Yeah, and that's the rock star life that was fucking lived, which is pretty. And I mean, on that, I guess just to touch, like we touched on it last night, but like you did a whole sort of round of crusty,
Yeah.
which what we were talking Apocalypse one or one of them
Yeah, it was
can't
part
really.
of 2 of those tours. One of the regional ones prior to that, I think we were talking about 09.
Yep.
Then 2010 when Jacko was doing his fronties.
Yep, you were on that one too.
Yeah, and
Yep.
then there was potentially one where Matto was doing his drop, he was had that broken wrist, so
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
and that was the capital city.
I was going to say they were cap cities.
So I
Yeah.
pulled out. They kicked me out when Matto was right to ride and dropped in maybe Melbourne or
Right.
Yeah, right.
Because it was 2010 when I come onto that tour, eh? It was the second tour you were on, because you did that whole first one in 09, and then 2010, I think, was when I
very
met you.
possible.
I'm pretty sure it was.
So what did you do your
Because
first?
Solly was backflipping the Harley when I rode. That was 2010.
So that was the year you moved to Queensland.
The year after.
So that's 11. You moved to Queensland in 2010.
Mate,
Oh,
Krusty's
no,
were
late-
fucking
Early 9.
touring
Nah,
every
late
second
9.
6 months.
Say again?
Krusty's were touring every fucking 6 months. It's
Oh,
like,
man.
Which bloody
Yeah, to keep
Yeah.
up with it, there was so many of them.
And like
Yeah.
they do those major stops, and then like in between they might fill in a few others. Then they do a regional. It was like next city from those others, and
Because I think it got to
Yeah,
that stage where there was a huge just battle out for like Nitro, Krusty, and it
That's
was like
right.
there was one every weekend.
that's right.
It was like, what the fuck? How are these cunts doing this shit?
Yeah, fully. There
Yeah.
was a good stage of
And
that
then-
going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Obviously,
right.
that ended up the way it did. But anyway, we won't get into all those sorts of things.
No, I guess we'll move on to the next one, and that's just when we're not doing our thing, and now we're not obviously riding and catching up on those times. So when we do catch up, we still do cool shit. We still go out and have a bit of fun and try and do a bit of camping and fucking all that stuff. And
Well, that's what I was sort of going to lead on to too. Like, obviously, leading out of the FMX, I guess were you quite a bit of a mountain man as you were riding your dirt bike? Or did the mountain man come after the dirt bike thing?
Here's one for you. Fucking, I was just riding on that Showtime crew, right, and had this shoe sponsor. Won't name him.
Yeah.
Anyway, I go out, do my thing for a weekend. We shoot a whole bunch of cats.
Right.
So here I am with a photo holding a fucking cat up by the tail.
Yep.
Their shoes.
Yep.
Send the obligatory email around to sponsors. How's your weekend? Fucking oath. Here I am with the cat in with these shoes on. So pretty much got kicked straight off the team.
Right.
That
Wow,
shoe
I didn't
sponsor.
know that.
That's a little
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck.
So
pisser.
and just being bloody right into the shooting since a young bloke, like riding and shooting, same sort of thing,
Mhm.
shooting 22s and that, and then it just sort of went on that path to do riding. And when you're doing that, you don't really wave guns around and all that sort of stuff. So
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it took me a while to know what you were into and about other than riding, because it was always something that was
riding was the huge thing, definitely.
Mm.
Yeah,
But I also knew you were a little bit more than just the riding, and I was like, fuck, what's this dude about? I did. It took me a while to work you out and, like, understand, because you kept to yourself and you didn't fucking big note. You didn't need to say shit, and you just did your thing. So, yeah.
It's taken me a while to work out myself too, cuz.
I think that's all of us, man. That's all of us. Yeah. And so I guess it's this time of life we just start figuring our shit out.
Feels
Well,
like
we
it.
like to
We
think we
are.
are. Yeah,
We
that's
are.
right. We are, man.
So things like that, for instance, that example, were they sort of little things that made you go, well, if I can't do what I want to do, fuck this scene? In ways, like sort of the start of that?
Nah.
No.
That was just like, what the hell? And then sort of the starting of like that political correctness, so to speak,
Yeah.
in the
Yep.
world.
Yep.
Yep.
Can't just
fully.
do things that you're doing in Koreong and it's
Yep.
going to be accepted everywhere by everyone.
Yeah, right. That's, yeah, okay.
Especially controversial. You've got vegan, all that sort of stuff. and
Yep. Yep.
Nowadays.
Yeah, it can definitely cause some controversy.
And that's right. It was like nothing to do with anything. But
Yeah, and full they dropped her just like that.
yeah,
Sorry.
no shit shoes anyway, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah, fully, man. That's the guy. Yeah, right. So just
Interesting.
Full on, man.
So yeah, hunting's always sort of been a side thing. But what now? Probably pushing it a lot harder at the moment now.
Yeah.
Quite a thing that you're doing at the moment. If you
Yeah, one could say they found themselves in the hills, and that's what I'm just going down that
Yep.
that mountain path and
Yep.
just loving mostly every minute of it at the moment.
Yep.
nice.
Yeah,
That's fair.
it's crazy.
And I guess that's come about because of just your surroundings all the way through of growing up and being a young bloke and where you grew
That's
up and
right.
whatnot.
Yeah, based always out of that northeast town. So even when I did go away riding, or I'd go up to the Gold Coast or whatever with you guys, well, that was always a novelty.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I was like, fuck yeah, we're going to the Goldie.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, and I'd never think about really moving there. And then, I've always just been based in there. So if you're not really into some sort of moto or fucking fishing or the hills, up there's got nothing for you.
Yep.
So you embrace it and
Yeah, definitely. Because
10 years down on a fucking deer hunting
Yep.
adventure.
for sure, I guess I knew too that we'd get along well, and that when I come over to your place for a week or so, and we went and did a little bit of rounds and out, you showed me a bit of the bush and a bit of the shooting style, like lifestyle, I guess, and a couple of little things here and there, and it was fucking cool, man, and I really enjoyed it, and I always love coming back, and it's a fun place, and obviously
It's definitely
they're
a
the
treat
things I'm
going
into
out there. It's
because every
definitely a
time-
treat.
That's right. Like when we go there, it's
a
like
fucking
you
treat.
said, it's a treat. Like when you used to go to the Gold Coast,
Yeah.
it's kind of nice to get away and fucking do those things. And
Yeah, I'd like to think of the bush as like a bit more of an unwind, relax for you too, a bit, as well as like the new experience.
Yep.
for sure, man, because it's so hustle bustle flat out of here around all the streets all the time. You never get a break from nothing out there. It's pretty peace and quiet, so it's good.
With the hunting thing, because obviously it can be quite a broad generalization hunting. Do you want to sort of clean up on what sort of a hunter you are? Because you're not just someone that fucking goes out with a spotlight and fucking shoots some fucking rabbits and stuff. Like you're a bit of a game hunter. There's some seriousness to it. There's some stalking to it.
Yeah, no, that's right. Like a lot of your subscribers may or may not be as deep into the ethics side of hunting, and
Yep.
and they're a lot of a younger generation. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Hunting in Victoria, especially in Australia, is like we're starting to lose that battle.
Yep.
So like with all these upcoming young fellas getting into deer shooting, especially,
Yep.
you want to sort of just portray it right, so that in the future,
Yep.
things can be started to do like the right way per se.
Yep.
As opposed to like social media's sort of jumped in and everyone wants the big head.
Yep.
But there's a whole journey up to getting that big head.
Yep.
So to speak.
Yeah, you don't just wake up one morning and fucking find the biggest deer in the mountain.
Nah.
Yep.
And it's not about getting it the easiest way.
Yep.
Especially like when you're starting off. So I'm just trying to bring the culture back
Yep.
into what's going on, because the deer hunting's boomed.
Yep.
But the ethics are just getting thrown out the window.
Like most things, though, I think ethics are just in a lot of categories. It's just getting thrown. Like ethics are
Definitely.
hard to keep around, but it's
That's just because no one's invested, like, put any time into fucking
to showing the
learning
ethics and to
about
show it,
what
present
they're
it.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's where, like, you're holding that up to be like, this is
Definitely,
the
yeah.
way to do it, dudes. And the fact you do have like a pretty decent following with it all is pretty. It's good to see that will hopefully push it all, and you will
'Cause
be
I
able to
don't
hold
think-
that up. And
I don't know if I'm right in saying this, but if, let's say, yourself, the way you push it and look into it and whatnot, if you weren't doing that, let's say, there's probably not many young dudes your age in the hunting scene that is looking at it in that perspective, are they?
Oh, I'd like to think there's heaps of guys
Yeah.
With
my
that
age,
mind state.
with this mindset,
Yep.
Yep.
and whether or not they publicly promoting it,
Yes.
Yep.
but that's not what the idea is. As long as they are embracing that,
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
say.
Yeah,
And
they
then,
don't have to tell everyone. They just
No, but just their mate,
Yep.
or their next mate, or the new hunter.
Yep.
Yep.
And then you start keep everyone like pretty much on the same traditional path with the ethics,
Yep, for sure.
and then it's slowly nut out the Yahooism
yes.
in the game.
Yeah, I guess nutting out the Yahooism in the game now, while it's, I guess, not so crazy, because to nut that out in the scene of like freestyle when we were in and around it, it was probably, that couldn't be done. So,
No.
So when the position the hunting scene's at now, it's kind of good to get onto
Yeah.
it as such, or
Yeah.
keep onto it.
Keep onto it while it's so free
Yes.
at the moment.
Yeah.
Once you restrict everything, then it's too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
So we've got something real good here. It's on a worldwide scale. You could look at for accessibility, how much it costs and stuff to do.
Yep.
Yeah, it's unheard of in the world really for what this Samba does. So it's something worth keeping, like to keep fighting for, to keep the freedom of being able to do that.
100%.
Yeah, right. So like it is a bit of a, what is it, the way, because of the land here, like the terrain is different than other places, so it's a different hunt, or it's just
yeah,
what we've got, we're allowed to hunt them, sort
Yeah,
of, in a
our
sense.
laws and regs around it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, right. So if you're out there, bloody respect that shit, because you'll lose it.
Well, that's the bottom line, so we're going to have to start fighting for it ourselves. So if
Yeah.
anyone is interested in the whole hunting and stuff,
Yep.
and there is some sort of any online stuff where you can help per se hunters,
Yep.
whatever,
Yep.
jump on it.
Get around it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
because it's going to be a dying culture in Australia, and like many of your grandfathers and that would have had a rifle and used
Yep.
it to possibly not only like put some meat on the table or whatever at times, but just look after the land. So
Yep.
we need them.
Yeah.
Definitely need them. So yeah, continue that trend.
Yeah.
that
It's
if you're
good.
into it or you're not into it, but you want to be into it, do your research,
Yeah, and if-
understand it, and know it.
That's right. If you're not into it, but you want to get into it, there's so much like info out there nowadays with this internet.
Yep.
Because deer hunting's always been pretty secret society, so
Yeah.
True.
it's available, and there's plenty of people still doing it the right way. So
Yep.
jump on.
Yep. Start doing it the right way, people. If you're out there and you know people that are out there just fucking shooting deers for no fucking reason or spotlighting, like that's a big thing. It's like the whole spotlighting thing. It's a bit like you're not doing much, mate. Anyone can point a light at an
And
animal
you're not
and
actually
shoot the cunt.
helping anything to do with the deer, the
Yep.
hunters,
Yep.
or any future
Yep.
stuff. So it actually shoots us recreational, genuine blokes in the foot.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Even though you get that bloody deer just to put on the wall, but only you and your mates see that.
Yeah.
But everyone drives past that deer that's out on the road.
Yep.
So just don't stop fucking doing that. Really.
Respect, yeah,
Yeah.
and that's why I always feel like too. I've always had that. That's why I've never been much of a hunter. You've like learnt me about it a lot. I was always sort of like, what do you need to go out there and shoot cunts for? Like I don't get it. But from the like you said, it puts food on the table. There's all these sorts of there's a fuckload of them. You know what I mean?
Oh,
There's a
yeah, there is,
fucking.
that's right.
They can be a pest at times. There can all be these all sorts of little things that come in, and the fact that you do have an art to it, and you don't just fucking pull up on the side of the road in your 4B and just start fucking popping cunts. It's like you will fucking stalk that cunt for 3 weeks
Yeah.
out in the book. Like you'll fucking like that's badass shit, and I think like it is. I think that you got to not. But it's got to be cleared up that that's what hunting should be. It's not just because you get brought up sort of like, oh yeah, got a mate with a farm, and you go out the back and you just fucking blow some rabbits or some fucking roos away, and you're like, I don't know if that's really right to do that. Like that's a bit fucked. But we're here, and he's a farmer, and he must do that. Like I don't fucking know, but there's that side of it that is like, nah, there's an art to it. It's
Oh yeah.
it's an actual thing that can. It's challenge. It's fucking. It's a sport. Going back, it's a sport.
Yeah, that's dead right.
So yeah,
It is.
don't get misconstrued. Because I feel like I was one that got. I was sort of like there's 2 sides. There's shit cunts that go out with guns and shoot shit, and there's shit cunts with guns. And then there's people out there that like truly have an art and a passion for it that. Does supply things too. You've got things like meat. You've got things like fucking head ornaments, and you'd make fucking heaps of different shit, fucking rugs and stuff. And it's there's
also,
a
that's-
value to it.
But that's also looking after the land, right? Is what you're doing too.
Yeah, essentially that's right. Like
Yeah.
farmers are screaming for the deer to be lowered because of pest
Yep.
status, but
Yeah,
that's right. There's so many ways to skin cats.
Yeah.
nowadays, but it's just a matter of doing it in a positive light.
yeah, definitely. Looking
For
into it.
sure. So I guess that with the area that's all done and that's all good, like we were saying before, it's a lovely place, but we had a few fires run through the bushy areas of Australia recently, and it's kind of fucked that up pretty good and proper, didn't it?
Phew, mate, the
has.
fucking Australia was on fire, mate. It
We
was
were burning.
fucking
The East
wild.
Coast was pretty fucking on fire, wasn't it?
Yeah, it definitely was, and but you dealt with it pretty up close and personal.
Yeah, yep. She come through the town.
Yep.
Our way.
Yep. So you were pretty lucky as such personally, like
Yeah.
through the family, but you definitely had a lot of friends, and it's a tight knit community up there, and you
Yep.
definitely know a lot of people that lost a lot of things.
Yeah. Widespread destruction from that fire,
Yep.
and just the severity of that one.
Yeah, it would have been a full on time for sure. I know it was hard for even us to get in contact with you. Phone lines were down, roads were blocked off, shut. We wanted to come over and help, give you a hand, chop out with everything. It just couldn't be done. It was a weird and wacky time, just like now that we're living with all the other bullshit in the world. But yeah, it was crazy. But I guess the land itself, did it suffer bad? Has it
Yeah,
suffered?
pretty bad
The
up that way.
animals,
Yep.
all that stuff.
Yep. Yeah, pretty bad up that way. the damage after the fire depends on how hot and that it gets, obviously.
Yep.
So you can have a fire that goes through and burn for 3 weeks, and it might do a fair bit of coverage, but it just cruises.
Yep.
A couple of months later, it's all pretty good, you know.
Yeah.
This thing, it just got that fucking hot, and the wind was just howling this thing up, right?
Yep.
So she's just scooted along everywhere and just scorched the earth that hard.
'Cause it was so
It's
hot.
sort of like no coming back from it because it was just that.
Oh, it's hard to say no because like it has happened in the past since
And,
79, you know.
and
like,
it will to a point, but it's not
To
as
a
like
point.
not quick to rejuvenate like a little one.
Nah, a long time, and
Yep.
the animals really copped it too. But like you'd see animals that you think, how the hell did they get? How they there?
Yeah.
Was the
fully.
other things.
How did you survive, sort of?
Yeah, like snakes were quite common, but
Yep.
you can assume they get up under a rock.
Yeah, underground. Or
But
something.
it'd be a fucking hot rock under there, wouldn't it?
Oh, that's right.
They
But
wanna
you'd
be
hope it's a
deep.
Lucky they love
deep.
the heat.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Fuck.
And then
Yeah.
like a lot of wild dogs and that, which you think, well, how the hell does that happen? But
Yep.
because so many other animals died or got roasted, as long as they ran or got away enough, they're a mongrel dog, so like they could lose enough of their hair and roll around and
Yep.
feel like a big sting, and they'll get away with it. And then there's all these dead animals everywhere, so
Yeah, it would have
Yeah,
been.
feeding time.
feeding flat out.
Yep. Yeah, so that's a full on time. I know there's so much to talk about in that aspect of just the fires, the land, the animals, the fucking how it is looking now and all that stuff. And I guess it's just really good to hear it from someone that dealt with it so close. And yeah, did so much for a tight knit community when it was all going on. You did your thing. It's obviously you didn't put your hand up to do it. You just did it because it was time to do that. And
Sort of had to. You had no other
there was
choice.
no choice, really. It was just it is
Everyone
what
for
it is.
themselves there because it just comes so sudden.
Yep.
We could see the smoke pluming from I think it was like day of New Year's Eve or day before,
Yeah.
like the 30th. 31st.
Yeah.
And then you could just see the smoke a mile away, just like a plume, and that was like a good long way away.
Yep.
And then because the wind was coming straight from the west, didn't take long, and then next minute the whole town was like in the smoke plume, like smoky shadows.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Then next minute all the gum leaves are landing, half burnt.
Mm.
So once that happens, like even though we're a mile away at the moment,
Spot fires.
yeah, next minute they're a real issue. So
Mm.
you're on alert from that from like the day before, and then next time you don't go to sleep because this thing's like getting oranger as the
Yes.
day gets nighter, like
Yep.
day gets darker.
Yep.
This thing's getting orange, and then next minute she's on that back ridge, and then it just
Yeah.
straight into you, and then you're on. 'Cause
You're
like,
on.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And
And-
we haven't had that really too much, so it's like fucking. There wasn't heaps of preparation.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
people haven't dealt with it, so let's say 30 years prior, so they weren't really prepared as such. No one really knew. It was new to you.
No, and everyone sort of assumes somewhat that CFA will just rock up, fire
Mm.
trucks,
Yep.
or farmers will all just band together and they'll be here.
Yeah.
But like a lot of people were found to be on their own because fucking everyone's facing the same
Phones
thing.
at their
There's
own.
such a
Yeah.
vast,
Broad,
broad
fucking
variety
fire.
of it, of fires in so many different areas. Like, we had another mate that was affected in the other bad hit area of Australia at that point. And yeah, it's fucking crazy how fast, sudden it comes, happens, gone, and it's just, everything's fucked.
And then it's literal like Armageddon. Like it's like a bomb's gone off after it
Yeah.
because like it's not that intense heat, but everything's just smouldering.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's little fires everywhere, and
Yeah, for weeks afterwards.
for ages,
Yep.
trees just going for fucking ages in the trunks, like we saw.
Yeah,
when
when
riding that
we
time.
went up
Yeah.
the bush, yeah,
It's
it
fucking
was
month later or
months
something.
later,
yeah.
and it was
That's
still
one example.
smoking. Yeah, fuck, full on.
Interesting shit.
But on a bright note, like a lot of helping with recovery of the fires up there. So like
Yeah, that was gonna-
fencing,
Yep.
right through to homeless people and like a lot of generous people donating a lot of stuff to people in need. So
Yes.
Yeah, like how, like obviously, too, with the whole, there was a massive push to like help after the fires, and then there was a little bit of a lag, and then suddenly Corona comes in, and everyone forgets about everyone that lost their fucking houses 6 months ago or whatever. Like, has
and all
been
that money that got donated to
that
the Red
just
Cross.
suddenly fucking disappeared.
many
Fuck
different
the Red Cross. Fuck
foundations.
all them fucking charity dogs can all suck a dick. But do you think, after probably 6 months in now, how is the community like back on its feet? Probably almost brushed it off like it was nothing. Obviously, some people
Yeah, no, it's pretty interesting. A lot of people, get straight back into it. You know, like got to keep going.
Yep.
Pretty tough for a lot of people.
Yep.
Initially, especially those that lost the stuff,
Yep.
and then no shit like coronavirus.
Yeah.
Everyone stayed at home. And you got people that like fucking you got no home probably, but just like
Yeah, they fucking lost their home a month ago.
it's just the mindset anyway
Yep.
of all these somewhat traumatized people.
Yeah.
And then to be all of a sudden media frenzy, fucking hectic virus is sweeping through the vents. So just don't fucking go anywhere, you know. And like,
Yeah.
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 How am I meant to not go anywhere? When I
yeah.
don't
So
have
mental
home?
health after this is gonna be a huge issue in burnout communities.
Definitely.
Cool.
Definitely.
Corona.
Yeah.
Yeah, even more so now. Like,
Yeah.
It would have been.
It would have
fucked
been.
up
Yeah, there
yes,
would have been
before
some.
Corona, but
Yep.
now it's been thrown in the mix.
It'll
Even
be
worse.
an issue, and like you know, like people can shrug it off and whatnot, but the farmers especially because they're so attached to their land and whatnot, and it did come and get decimated.
Mhm.
It's all just slow process, but they are starting to rally together. There's been a few events on since then and all that stuff, you know, but
Yep.
it's just a long road.
Yeah.
Definitely. I could not imagine how long it'd be. Like we've been up and had a little bit of a poke around since the fires, and it's crazy to see. Like your town is a beautiful place, and then to go through and see these, let's say, iconic parts of that beautiful town gone or burnt or half fucked or whatever. Like these people that put their whole time and lives and shit into it is just all fucking gone, and it's crazy. It's
That's right, and that's a scale right across all these fucking
Yeah.
communities. So
Yeah.
once you see it, you can feel it.
100% you can feel it.
Oh,
definitely. And
definitely.
it was weeks after.
I
when we
don't
seen
think I've ever saw it. Like you said too, like there was points where like obviously it wasn't as raw as that bomb feel, still smouldering feel, but like there was points where you sort of just like, this is fucking straight apocalyptic shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, scary
Like
shit, man.
this is
Like
fucking real.
Yeah, because the feeling is so real when you're there and that. And like I said, we were there a few weeks afterwards. Could not imagine, like, I probably got a really good feeling being there in the time we were, but couldn't imagine being there when it was all going down, man. Like, so full on.
It's crazy too, because like in the moment too, you can only see 100 meters away anyway.
Yeah, like the smoke and shit. It's not like it's all just open and it's literally
Yes.
like, yeah, you got 4 feet in front of you, cunt, and it's
And like driving a car around, you're driving at 60 k's because like you don't know who's freaking out coming the other way. Just like,
Yeah.
get out of here.
yeah,
And then you don't know if it's a truck or with a big dozer on it going somewhere else. And
yeah,
yeah, it's pretty weird times. And then you're not just like looking up on a hill and there's a fucking bushfire.
yeah,
You're in it. It's all happening, and that's
Yeah.
what's sort of a bit scary
yeah,
in the day because you don't know where those spotties or where shit is.
yeah.
Yep.
So then and you just fucking.
You feel like you're surrounded by a fire pit.
Oh, that's right. And then you can imagine like ladies and that aren't out trying to fight it or look. They're just inside, and then they don't know what's going on. Like it's a really scary time.
Mm.
But in saying that, at the same time, it's not. If you're somewhat aware of like in the nighttime, you can be pretty calm about where it is and what's going on.
Yep.
Yeah, right, yeah, yeah.
You feel like the wind that time. It's like, oh, it's real windy, but the glow's over there.
Yes.
You can be
So
calm,
There's a
you've
bit
got
of
your wits
you
about
can
ya.
monitor it a bit, and you
Yeah.
have a little bit more. But
chill.
yeah,
But then you can't like fully go to sleep because you're like, fuck, the cunt could swing at 3.
yeah,
Straight over me.
Yep.
Yeah.
And drop the embers over you, and next minute you're on.
Yep. Yep.
You know.
fucking
Yeah.
But
scary.
like in saying all that, touchwood, we were very lucky with just wind directions and
Yes.
didn't
With
lose major
your house, yeah, like you just
Yeah,
sort of
our
were in the right
properties.
spot, and it got yep,
stuff.
yep,
Like our workshop got hit pretty hard, and my old man lost quite a bit of old stuff, but
yep.
that's machinery, so it's not.
It's-
Yeah, it is what it is.
It's valuable, but it's not as valuable as some things. That
Yeah,
would
there's certain
have been
things
shit
that
to
you know.
lose. Yeah, it sucks either way, that's for sure. Yeah, well,
Big, man.
full on, man. Like, it's definitely good to hear it a little bit firsthand from someone that's been there, dealt with it, and fucking, was just dealing firsthand with all that craziness.
Does that obviously that has a little bit of an impact with the deers now?
Oh,
What sort of impact has the fire had with deers? Now, do you,
Yeah,
do you
it's
have
smashed the
deers
deers.
now, or are they all gone? I mean,
well, the paddocks are growing back pretty nice and green at the moment. So any animals that are in that bush are sort of on the fences and very quiet.
right,
Very quiet bush out there at the moment. And
Yeah.
the odd deer that is there they're sort of struggling, but it'll take probably 2 or 3 years.
Yep.
To get a decent.
yeah, because I mean, like you said, struggling. It sort of goes onto that video you put up, which is quite. If is are interested to see the actual aftermath, Ellie put up a video on his YouTube that is quite eye-opening on to how real and fucking shit it was out there and got out there. Like, is it mostly that, or are you still seeing a lot of movement in semi-healthy deers, or are they all sort of a little bit
what's
fucked?
there now is pretty good.
Yeah,
It's just there's not many of them.
yeah, yeah. So a lot of them got wiped out.
Yeah, because it did smash everything. Well, there was no foliage anywhere. It was completely burnt, and the earth was completely burnt, and they all ran into the river or creek systems.
Right.
If they didn't get trapped, so then they were near this water. So then all these ones died as well. So that water got very
Contaminated.
shit very quick. Plus no food, so they're starving.
Yep.
They're starved, probably more.
Yep.
Majority.
So
of
if the
them died
fire
of
didn't,
starvation.
if the fire didn't get them, the starvation got them. Yep.
Yep.
And that
And-
goes on for your kangaroo and
Yep.
through the whatever,
Yep.
all right through the board.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, like, because there is grass is good now. The bush hasn't, but the paddocks are. So like, you might see the odd deer or deer track here and there,
Mm-hmm.
but they're certainly not a pest in northeast Victoria.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you do in the way of, like, you being local and getting around the traps and whatnot and knowing it? But there's a lot of people that come up from Melbourne, let's say, and other areas that like hunting but don't really know the fucking joint or know what's going on, and probably start killing shit when they shouldn't be killing shit or whatever because they don't know it. So is it a thing where it's like you don't really shoot things now for the next couple of years, or?
I don't.
Yep.
As much in the burn.
Yep.
Myself, but that's just giving them time to chill because I was there like literally those couple of days after the fire, and sussed out a few actual deers that were alive. They were very stressed, so it's
Yes.
like, fuck, I don't need to be running around shooting them.
Yeah,
Mhm.
For a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then next thing is after fires, because the bush is just so open after that, people
Yep.
come up and take advantage of that.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's like, no, I don't need to be doing that. So I sort of trying to just hunt the bloody unburnt stuff in like the high country, but just more in respect of hoping those deers come back and have a
Come back, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You don't want to lose that. It's
Nah.
fucking something that was pretty cool to have.
yeah. And like once the bush does grow up, it gets thicker and does whatever it does. But there is some good periods where it's happy for like deers cruising. They're happy, there's a lot of feed, and then you can shoot the fuck out of them.
Yep.
And not damage them,
Yeah.
Yep.
but manage them.
Manage them.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah, nice. So I guess in saying all that with the fires and all shit, everything you do, you also don't mind picking up a bit of a camera and having a bit of a film and whatnot. What's Hill Dogs all about?
Oh, fellow YouTuber here.
Hey,
boy.
get on the
Yeah.
subscribe, huh?
Subscribe, hit
There
the
we
bell,
are on
all
the
that
fucking
stuff.
tube, boys.
So you got a channel, Hill Dogs, eh?
Yeah, we've been rolling for a little while now.
Nice. And it's all
Shadows.
about the shooting, obviously, the hunting.
Yeah, the hunt. It's about hunting bloody deer, and that just come about. I don't know. Oh, no, it come about because you shoot all these deer, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, fucking spotlighter," or
Yep.
"Oh, you shoot it out of the window, did you?"
Yep.
And then bloody like, "Nah, man, I fucking watched it come for half an hour. They shot it or whatever." So it's like, well, I'm gonna film this, and then they can't say that because here it is,
Yep.
walking around, and then here I am standing next to it. So it was cool.
That's
Yeah.
mad.
And then and then it just sort of come about, and I suppose because like, with that riding, the early riding thing, you see like characters and you see dudes and that, so you just like own a little bit,
Yep.
and vlog like that vlog type thing come in at the time,
Yep.
slowly come in. So next year you just always talk to this thing, and as you know, people relate,
Yeah.
and then
Sure.
you get some cool footage, I guess, now and then shoot a few deer, and it's
Yeah.
fucking
Definitely.
everyone wants to do it.
Definitely, man. So that's moving along pretty well for you.
Yeah.
It's
Pretty frothing on that.
Yeah, nice.
Yep.
Yeah, you're doing you're up. It's moving pretty well.
Yeah.
Like
On the
Oh,
YouTube.
just
you got
a
a
bit
you got a pretty decent sort of fan base going on that's pretty consistent and stuff. Like I said, you're on the Patreon as well, which is got a bunch
Yeah.
of patrons looking after you.
Yeah, yep, helping keep the dream alive.
Yeah.
That's just sort of come about because, like, as you know, like the amount of content you do put out, you
Yeah.
just want like a little bit of something back just to sort of like keep you going, inspired, but like just to help it make it run a bit smoother. You know what I mean? And
Well, it
it's
can
not
get
much,
fucking
it's just-
expensive, man.
That's right, and just even if it helps to bloody realistically tank of fuel, or
Yep.
a fucking packet of different bullets or something, just to
Yep.
keep rolling, all good. And yeah, it's just one thing after another because it's all a bit of a invested promotion in terms of where I want to be at in the next fair few years.
Mm-hmm.
If you've been on this video bloody thing for 10 years or whatever, you're fairly common or comfortable with that dude knowing what he's on about.
Yep.
It's not just like the 3 videos he has put up over 7 years where he talks a bit of shit. And it's a dude that's followed deer for quite a while now.
Yep.
And then a lot of new hunters. So, this will all be about the new hunter and just keeping that tradition alive, and then getting into like a guiding aspect or the bloody taxidermy.
Yep.
Is
Yeah,
starting to
nice.
interest me. Yeah.
That's the go. It's always good when you can do something you love and turn it into something where you can survive from it.
Oh,
I
that's
guess.
right. Just to have a lot of invested interest in what your income is, and just
Yep.
like chilling, like what you guys, what
Yeah.
the dream is.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but you want to push a bit of taxidermy, and you want to warm out, you want to make
Yeah.
the mounts, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
Bit arty.
Yeah.
It's always good. I dig that shit.
Yeah,
Nice.
and particularly no one's doing it in my area.
Yep.
So I reckon when the deers do come back,
Yep.
give me a bit of time to practice it up and then drop them
Capitalise.
off, mate. Yeah.
Mm.
Nice, man.
Capitalise in a business sense.
Yeah.
In a business, yeah, for sure.
And like you said, if you're doing what you love and you can turn it into a business, that's the fucking life goal, isn't
That's dream at the moment.
Yep.
it? Yeah.
And I think you're on a really good thing there, because it's something you love, but it's not actually the hunting side. It's to do with hunting, so it keeps you intrigued, and it's like, fuck yeah, I can't wait to go out and have a hunt or whatever. But you're not doing that and just running thin on like, fuck, I'm over hunting because I do it every fucking day.
Yeah.
Same as riding, pretty much.
Yeah,
It can get like
Oh,
that.
and that's why I can understand that.
Yep.
And you don't do that because she's a shit road.
Yeah,
Mm.
it can be a
Can be
fucking
a shit road.
dark
doing-
shit
Yeah,
road.
it's
if-
a it's a
doing
fine
every day.
line to like work as love your work.
Mm.
It's like, doing what you love. It's you've got to be very very, because you can end up not loving it real quick.
Yeah, losing
You'll end up
everything.
fucking hating the cunt,
You'll have no drive.
and that's the craziness. So we're on the just like So get on his hip bloody YouTube, Hill Dog TV. Get on there, subscribe, do all that stuff. Suss him out especially if you're into the hunting style things.
Yep.
It's
And
got
if-
fucking content for days, and
if
then
you're an up and coming hunter, or
Yeah.
you're into it, you like it, you're not in the areas to be around and douse yourself in it as such, jump on his Patreon, jump on his YouTube. He's got a lot of informative videos, very fucking good videos that just good information. He puts out great information, so if you're about it and you can't get
Helpful.
onto it, jump
And
on
they're
and have a look.
They're bloody raw and they're real and they're true blue. So that's what sort of
they are they literally are a good watch. Like I can sit here and say like I enjoy them, and I don't have much
The hunting
interest
background.
in hunting or all that sort of stuff, but I can sit there and watch his videos because you're an entertaining dude. You've got the knowledge that backs all the information you do put out,
Yeah,
and
and anything you do say, you can kind of take it and listen to it and take it all on, because it's all fact. You're not going to kind of just dribble shit about things. So it's all 100% fucking thought and looked into fucking facts, basically. Billy's not one to talk shit.
Nah, definitely. That's something why we all get along so well, because we're just straight up motherfuckers.
yeah, that's a word up there.
Definitely, man. That's cool. You got your YouTube and Patreon thing fucking all going and pushing along. Hope that all fucking keeps going well for you, mate.
Cheers, Cobb, yo.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
So what
We'll do a
about-
collab one day, maybe. We've done a couple of little cheeky
We've done a
collabs. We'll
couple,
keep up the collabs. So keep an eye out, ladies and gentlemen, on the tubes. We'll get
Hey,
our collabs.
I fucking got a memory this morning from 8 years ago on the old Facebooks from me at your joint the first time with me bike up against your tree in the ramps. Remember that? Bloody the old green bike when I come and stayed for a good probably 2 weeks. Did a bit of shooting, did a little bit of stuff. But yeah, it was a memory 8 years ago today.
8 years.
8 years
Yeah,
today, bro.
right.
Yeah.
And like, what
Green
would
bike.
that would have been? Yeah, green bike.
On
What
a green subframe.
Yeah.
White
Oh
and green.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, white and green.
So what yours would have been like freestyling then?
Yeah, hell
like
yeah.
that would have been.
We're
Yeah, that
fucking
would have been.
Fred
Yeah.
And fucking Fran of the freestyle world.
Yeah.
Fred and Franny, freestyle. Fuck yeah. That was a time where it was bloody. We were
You're
in,
hot.
we were-
Oh,
yeah.
8 was sick. Yep.
Oh yeah. Because
Oh, it wasn't 08 though. But
No, it wasn't 08. Because
08.
I'd moved down from. Not move. I drove down from Queensland for that trip, so I'd living up there. So it would have been 2010.
Yeah.
11.
08
Yeah.
was like king of the coast. I
sick
think.
shit.
We did.
Yeah. I was still living in Melbourne then.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay, no, that's cool though.
I'm just trying to find it. But yeah, so that was just something popped into my head.
Funny
But
shit.
in and all, on this world scale, has COVID interrupted your world and life at all, Hilly?
What's COVID?
Yeah, I know, and it's not like I'm here like let's talk about COVID because
No, I
I've got
just
plenty
thought
of other shit to talk about, but it's like, oh, here he is, you got it.
It's definitely the Rona.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Since
I'm
I've come to Melbourne, I've had just runny nose, fucking sore throat, fucking sore red eyes.
I've been too scared to leave my house.
I haven't left the house. I'm a bit scared to leave the studio, to be honest.
Yeah, well,
The Rona, it's got ya. But it sort of did a little bit. You did have a little bit of effect. You had some pretty big plans this year that it might have sort of kicked you in the dick with.
Me, just plans, and the hunting endeavours really.
Yep.
Keep them low key because I don't know if it'll be really repeated.
Yeah.
So now you're saying, oh, I'm gonna go. Fucking
Yeah. Do that. Yeah.
So I've got bloody endeavours, but I saved a lot of money from Rona
True.
because I didn't have to pay heap of airfares and whatnot. Oh yeah,
that one.
yeah, sick.
Yep.
And then didn't really affect me in other ways because we were just fucking still doing the same work, and
Yeah.
really over that because my headspace, like I wanted to deal and process with it, and then the rest of the joint's going crazy.
Yep.
And then I just wanted to fuck off in the bush and do my own thing, but then had to do some work here and there, and that kind of built up some pressure, so I got pretty over it pretty quick.
Yep.
And then had to just have a couple of reality checks, and then just realised Rona's fucking bullshit anyway, and
Yep.
just do your thing.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Not worry about that.
That's it, man.
Do what you can with what you got. Yep. Which is almost what you're sort of doing now. I don't know if you want to get deep into why you're down here and what you're doing here, but you're making some moves, if you will.
Yeah, nah, this one's just to get out of the joint, just to clear the head and whatnot. But
Get away a bit. Yep.
yeah, but I sort of got like a bit of a project on the back burner that's like a passion project into terms of the Sambadeers
Yep.
in Victoria, but
History.
history of it. Yeah, and there's a lot of old fellas living down these parts especially.
Yep.
So I've been getting around them this week. And then
And that's been good for you.
yeah,
Interesting.
it's pretty cool.
Interesting.
Interesting, yeah. Oh,
Yeah, nice.
fucking
Learning a bit.
yeah.
Yep.
And just because you're rocking up to random dudes on a pedestal, so
Yep.
to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm calling these dudes, I'm annoying the fuck out of them. Like, hey man, can I come around when you sort of like trying to keep them in touch, like tee them up.
Yep.
So then by the end of that, you're already thinking like you're annoying the fuck out of them anyway.
Yep.
Mhm.
And then, yep, come over, we'll have a talk. They come over there, and then it's all fucking sweet.
Yep.
And 5 hours later, it's
Yep.
oh, we better go.
Yeah. Your fucking mind's fucking blown up because you've
And
just
then the
filled
mind's
with new
blown
shit.
up with
Yeah.
all that too. So and that's just only the start. So hopefully get around a few more dudes just because they are old fellas,
Yep.
And then see what I can make out of that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But definitely just the history side.
Interesting.
That's cool, man.
Good to
That's,
see.
That's good. Yeah, good to know that you're doing that. Again, any young punks out there that are into it, not around it, told ya, get onto it. There's plenty of history coming.
And bloody support him so he can keep fucking pushing it. Big things to come.
Definitely.
Well, we're sitting on 58 minutes. We're almost about to push an hour.
Nice.
So we're doing pretty well at the moment.
pretty good.
And, I mean, we could just keep yarning about some other little bits and pieces, but...
I reckon that, yeah. What about yourself, Shane? What have you been up to in the last week?
Me,
We didn't ask it at the start of the podcast, so
Yeah.
I might ask it now.
oh, dude, there's heaps going on, to be honest. Fucking Illy's just fucking gone
He's
up
just
and
going
left
to get
us.
a drink, mate.
Top up that cuppa, mate. Top up that cuppa. I'm, to be honest, heaps sort of going on. Still sussing out, getting a few little
Got the
final
new
touches
drops on, yeah,
of the
one
new
of the
drops.
others too.
Looking good. So
I
hopefully,
think you showed this one last time.
yeah, I was wearing that last time, but so hopefully within the next week or so, I'll have all that ready to be dropped, and that'll be going. Punched out a bunch, all the patron t-shirts I got done for last week. I've been lagging on that, just so if you are there, sorry that they are a little bit running late. I've just been flat chat, but we sorted them out the other day. They're pretty dope. I did a little bit of a... So, long story short, the Yena Oi t-shirt I released in a green t-shirt with white Yena Oi. Back in the day, I did a little one-off version for myself that I wore in a film clip when I was doing me rappy stuff.
Yep.
So I thought, and I'm probably fucking off the Yeah Nah Oi t-shirt for now. So I thought I'll do that for the patrons and do like green on black. So I did them a nice little, and it's sort of cool because it has a little reference of like, it is the same shirt that I wore in a fucking, and it is rare and no one else has got it apart from them. So yeah, that was sort of pretty
And
cool.
it's pretty sought after too. A lot of people are asking for it.
Yeah, the old Yeah Nah Oi shirt is pretty common and popular. So we got that out. That'll be, if you're a patron and you're listening in, that'll be in the mail pretty much. I think Mum was sorting it out last night, so I think the courier come and got them today. So they'll be in the mail and coming to you within the week. Other than that, just
being busy on the bloody work.
Just getting things sorted. Yeah, flat out. Like, I think we've got a bit of big news, but I don't know if I want
touch on it, but I didn't know how to say it because I didn't want to just.
I don't know if we want to keep that big news for ourselves and just keep you hanging for a bit because there's no rush.
Because let me tell you this: from last time we spoke and on the podcast, we said there's been news going on. There's a bit of news, bloody this thing's happening. There might be a couple of moves going on. That has been confirmed.
We got a big tick for that.
Yeah, what we were talking about has been confirmed. So you will be fucking seeing it soon enough. We just need to get in the sorting out and getting it right so it can be viewed by you guys. But yeah, other than that, there's good shit in the moves. And
some very big moves, yeah. It's very, very exciting to the point where I don't want to get too into it because I will get too excited and I'll want to keep talking about it.
Yeah, and I fully forgot because we've got Hilly on, a bit of a guest this time, first one. I fully forgot to talk to you about it before the podcast. Like, what are we going to touch on it? And if we are, what are we going to say? So it's a bit like, I don't know what to say now.
Well, it's sort of funny because this is probably a better way to have the conversation because everyone else is on the other end going, you fucking cunts. You're sitting here talking about something that we have no idea about.
But it'll be worth it. We're not here going, yeah, fucking got this stuff going on. It's cool. And yeah, but yous will appreciate it just as much as us, I think, once we start producing.
And it should last too. So it's not just going to be like, hey, we just dropped something on you and it's there for the Sunday and that's it. This is like big long-term moves that should really set us up to be
bump us onto the next level because we kind of plateaued, like with everything we've been doing and were doing, like with the filming and all that stuff, and then COVID come in, we kind of hit a plateau with what we could do and what we'd already done. So now with this thing that we're talking about, it's going to allow us to do all the things we want to do easier, more accessible. Everything. We've got this place because it ticks all the boxes for everything we've fucking needed. Needed. Here he is.
A keen eel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. I heard that. I picked that too. You did have a little bit of a slip there, Schmidt. But anyway, just how you put it into context. But it's all good.
Leave that one hanging.
Yeah.
Pick it up if you can.
If you fucking got a brain on you, you might have that. But look at that. We're pumped over an hour. Always, I get them mixed up all the time.
Hey man, I just because we can.
Time flies when you're having fun though.
Busting a gap, dogs.
Sammy
we
B.
doing?
Double cam.
Yeah, got to.
How good's the pad? But we do. We've got also. What else? Have we? Hold it wide for the boys.
Poppin' monos. I lay it down with my whips and I make you cringe. Poppin' monos.
Righto.
Nice one.
I reckon I'm going to leave you on that one because that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Huge thanks for Illy for dropping in.
Fuck yeah, man.
Having a yarn with us.
I appreciate you sitting down on the couch and having a chat with us.
Fucking oath.
I know it's not something we organise, but fucking
Have you done a
shit
podcast?
up.
Is this your first podcast?
Probably first like studio set up podcast, but out in the bush we'll sometimes set the camera up and talk shit.
Yep. Done a few and probably done a few little radio bits and pieces in your times.
In the time I guess actually.
Yeah. I reckon there was this one time, I reckon we were all together and you did some radio interview while you were down here or something once.
Probably classic. Yeah, probably do with cricket I'd say.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, it's good. Just good to talk a bit of shit for a little bit and
Fuck yeah.
hang out for sure. And
Definitely,
thanks for
man.
having us.
No, not a problem, man. We found a couple of things out didn't know about yet, so that's always
Definitely did. It's
Man
interesting.
of many
Mysteries.
many mysteries.
Man.
And many talents.
Yeah. But,
Fuck yeah.
well,
That's
maybe
what's
we'll
up.
get you on another time. We can talk more. If you've got any questions for Illy, drop them in the comments, and then maybe next time he's around, we'll pop back in and we'll answer a bunch of fan questions, if you will.
Definitely.
So,
but in saying that, jump on his YouTube, Hill
Yes.
Dogs TV.
Yeah,
He's
much
on YouTube.
appreciated. Jump on there, give us a look, give us a thumbs up, and if you don't like it,
Do all the things we tell you to do.
That's it. And while you're on the YouTubes, fucking see what we're doing too. Dropped a little bit of an unboxing of all this stuff the other day if you haven't quite seen that. So jump on there and have a look at that if you want. If you don't, whatever, dudes. But
needing your bike fixed, serviced, bloody roadworthy, anything like that, jump it down, bloody High Street, Melton, Talk Motorcycles. We're a workshop there and we can
there
sort
it
you
is.
out.
And if you want T-shirts, come call me. But if you want hoodies, you got to wait a couple of weeks because everything's on back order and it's frying my brain. But life goes on. Anyway,
Quick thanks again, Backasmash Tint.
Yep.
They will tint your business, home, all that good stuff. Nothing on wheels, no automobiles. Don't call them that rhymed. Whoop, whoop.
shit, yeah, dog.
Fuck
That was
yeah.
sick.
But,
All right.
spot on, guys. Appreciate you coming in, Hill Dogs.
Legend, righto. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen.
Cheers, gents.
Pokémonas, 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 Pokémonas.
My die!